Loneliness doesn't come from being alone, but from being misunderstood. This line is the core of a complex world where supernatural oddities intertwine with human emotions. And characters like Koyomi Araragi grapple with isolation, not from physical solitude, but from being unseen or misjudged. Through cryptic dialogues, surreal visuals, and deep psychological layers, explores loneliness in Hitagi Senjugahara, Tsubasa Hanekawa, Mayoi Hachikuji, and Shinobu Oshino, revealing that their unique solitude stems from others' failure to understand their true selves. Koyomi's journey, as a vampire-like human aiding these girls, isn't just about solving oddities, but uncovering how loneliness drives their struggles, proving loneliness doesn't come from being alone, but from being misunderstood, shapes their identities, set against haunting, stylized backdrops. Monogatari series. It all begins when Koyomi, a high school student turned half vampire, encounters Hitagi Senjugahara, who's cursed by a crab oddity, making her weightless. But Hitagi's loneliness isn't from isolation, it's from being misunderstood. Her sharp tongue and cold demeanor hide trauma from her mother's cult abuse, fearing others can't grasp her pain. The moment Koyomi, despite her threats, helps her confront the crab, shows loneliness doesn't come from being alone, but from being misunderstood. His understanding, not pity, heals her, depicted in Monogatari's dark, shadowy rooms and glowing crab visuals. When Hitagi, tearful but smiling, admits, "You're the only one who sees me," proves her solitude fades not through company, but Koyomi's insight, set against Monogatari's eerie staircases and blood-red skies, showing her loneliness stems from misjudgment, not solitude. Tsubasa Hanekawa's loneliness is equally unique, rooted in misunderstanding. As the perfect student, Tsubasa hides her stress and Black Hanekawa oddity, a cat spirit born from repressed emotions, fearing others see only her facade. When Koyomi discovers her secret during Golden Week, her breakdown, "No one knows the real me," reveals loneliness doesn't come from being alone, but from being misunderstood. Her isolation isn't physical, but emotional, as peers misjudge her calm exterior. The moment Koyomi, holding her as Black Hanekawa, promises, "I'll understand you," shows his insight ends her solitude, painted in Monogatari's surreal cat shadows and moonlit nights. The scene of Tsubasa, crying but relieved, proves loneliness fades through understanding, not company, set against Monogatari's glowing eyes and twisted landscapes, reflecting her unique pain. Mayoi Hachikuji, a ghost lost on her way home, embodies loneliness from misunderstanding. As a spirit trapped by guilt over her mother's death, Mayoi's solitude isn't from being alone. It's from others not seeing her trauma or purpose. When Koyomi, guiding her to her house, learns of her oddity, her tears, "No one remembers me," show loneliness doesn't come from being alone, but from being misunderstood. Her isolation stems from forgotten grief, not physical absence. The moment Mayoi, smiling through tears, thanks Koyomi, proves his understanding frees her, depicted in Monogatari's foggy streets and ghostly silhouettes. The scene of Mayoi, fading but happy, reflects Monogatari's melancholic beauty, misty paths, glowing orbs, showing her loneliness ends through connection, not solitude, revealing her unique pain. Shinobu Oshino, Koyomi's vampire companion, hides deep loneliness behind sarcasm. As Kiss shot a Cerula Orion heart underblade, her immortality and past betrayals, like losing Koyomi's trust, make her feel isolated, not from being alone, but from being misjudged as a monster. when Koyomi, facing her past in the vampire arc, forgives her, saying, "You're not just a vampire," shows loneliness doesn't come from being alone, but from being misunderstood. His understanding heals her, set against Monogatari's blood-red battles and shadowy castles. The moment Shinobu, tearful but smiling, calls Koyomi master, proves her solitude ends through trust, not company, painted in Monogatari's surreal vampire forms and glowing moonlight. The scene of Shinobu laughing with Koyomi reflects Monogatari's haunting visuals. Dark forests, blood-stained skies, showing her loneliness stems from misjudgment, not isolation. Koyomi's role amplifies their loneliness, driving change. When Hitagi doubts Koyomi's loyalty, his persistence, understanding her trauma, rebuilds trust, ending her solitude. The moment Hitagi, crying but smiling, hugs Koyomi, shows his change heals her, reshaping their bond, depicted in Monogatari's glowing classrooms and rainy nights. With Tsubasa, Koyomi's insight into Black Hanekawa strengthens her, proving loneliness fades through understanding, set against Monogatari's moonlit rooftops and cat shadows. Mayoi's trust in Koyomi, guiding her home, restores her peace, as Monogatari's misty roads and ghostly figures reflect his role. Shinobu's bond with Koyomi, forgiving her past, ends her isolation, painted in Monogatari's blood-red battles and starry skies, showing his understanding reshapes lives, proving loneliness doesn't come from being alone, but from being misunderstood. Loneliness doesn't come from being alone, but from being misunderstood. The Monogatari series journey through Hitagi, Tsubasa, Mayoi, Shinobu, and Koyomi deeply proves this. From Hitagi's crab curse, Tsubasa's cat spirit, Mayoi's ghost, to Shinobu's vampirism, their unique loneliness stems from misjudgment, not solitude, set against Monogatari's surreal, haunting visuals. Moments like Koyomi helping Hitagi, comforting Tsubasa, guiding Mayoi, and forgiving Shinobu not only define them, but captivate viewers with loneliness's depth. In Monogatari's cryptic, beautiful world, characters remind us loneliness isn't physical, it's being unseen, and understanding heals. Through Monogatari's poetic imagery and emotional layers. What do you think of their loneliness? Share your thoughts